Welcome everybody to my Quickplay AR Deck. This is been built through my over 2,000 hours experience playing and enjoying Back 4 Blood, and also has been fueled by my time completing 51x trials. First thing I want you to know is this is going to generally be when you're doing a solo or duo in Quickplay. If you're running trios, you can probably just use my normal AR deck. With that, I also recommend using the Ranch Rifle. I think it's the best AR in the game. It has great damage, great ammo efficiency, great stats with it in terms of its movement and reload speed. I think it's a really great gun, and you should run it with this. Alright, with that being said, let's get right into the deck. The number one best copper card there is, Copper Scavenger. Gives you 2 piles of 50 throughout the map, so 400 total copper. Same effect as Share the Wealth, but it also gives you wall hacks on copper. Allows you to find those copper piles that are hard to find or in weird tight places. Increases your looting speed because you know what you're looking for, you know where you're looking. And it also brings in more copper. It's just straight up, so many people walk right over copper because they don't have Copper Scavenger on. They can't see it through the walls. With this, you're going to be raking in all that copper that is out on the map in addition to that plus 400 team copper spawned from this card. Best copper card in the game. Next we have Money Grubbers. With this, every copper pile that you pick up is going to have a +3, and then a +6, and then a +9, +12, continuing on. It pairs really well with Copper Scavenger. With picking up all those copper piles, you're going to be bringing in that money. If you're running with trios or quads, recommend bringing out Lucky Pennies, but because it's a solo duo for quick play, this is the one that reigns supreme. It gives you more money. To help people out still, you're going to be wanting Empowered Assault. What I found when running quick play is that oftentimes, if you're running a high damage build, you're going to be getting those mutation kills. This is where Empowered Assault comes in, and it allows you to stumble stuff. So stumbling those mutations right after you kill the previous one is massive. And this effect lasts functionally forever up until you find that next mutation. So it's great. It stops the mutations in their path, stumbling them, kicking them out of that animation, and keeps them still so it's really easy to hit them. It's a great card if you're running as DPS, and it brings just so much crowd control to the table. Love it. Now we have Confident Killer. With the prevalence of mutations on Nightmare No Hope, this is just kind of a no-brainer. It gives you 1% damage, up to 15%, based on the number of total mutations killed throughout a map. This stacks up pretty darn fast, and it's its own damage category, stacks up pretty high. It's a beautiful DPS card. Another beautiful DPS card is Hyperfocus, giving plus 50% weak spot damage. It's huge. Whenever you're hitting a weak spot, you're just doing 50% more damage. The downside here, move speed while shooting, it's not really that big of a downside, I feel. I don't really notice it that much. I do really notice the increased DPS. So, beautiful card, great DPS. Now, keeping up with the DPS train, we got Glass Cannon. Another damage category by itself, plus 25% damage, and minus 30% health. Frankly, the minus health really isn't that big of a deal, because you're going to want to try and prevent damage as much as possible, and Glass Cannon does that. By killing stuff before it gets to you, you've prevented that damage. You don't need that health if they don't hit you. With it being its own damage category too, it's multiplicative with all your other damage types, so it gives you even more than 25% damage overall. It's a beautiful damage card. On your mark. So what I've noticed in quick play is that oftentimes people are running out of ammo and they're triggering hordes and they're playing it very slow. Quick play is not nearly as coordinated as team play. And with that, On Your Mark comes in and saves the day. By bringing in that extra ammo to not only yourself but your team, you give yourself a lot more bullets to fire. You don't let the Ridden wear you down by taking all your ammo and then you're out of luck just because you don't have any more ammo. This has saved me countless times just because I've had the extra bonus ammo from this card. Oh, and also it gives you reload speed during hordes, which is incredible because that's when you need the reload speed, is during a horde when you gotta shoot a lot of stuff. Staying on that ammo train, we got ammo belt. So plus 50% ammo capacity and plus 15% reload speed. Ammo capacity is the main kicker here. It's really good. It gives you bonus reload speed as well. It's a great card, fits in here, and I've noticed that with Quickplay, ammo's a little bit more scarce. Especially if you find someone else that's running the same ammo type as you, you're going to be wanting to keep your ammo reserves high, and it scales with On Your Mark as well. By giving you more ammo, it means that On Your Mark is giving back more ammo every time. Tac Vest. 30% AR ammo, 10% damage with those ARs and LMGs. Beautiful. Gives you ammo, gives you damage. What more could you want? Large Cal. Gives you more bullet damage, 7.5%, and bullet pen. 200% bullet pen, so that moves the bullet pen on the ranch rifle from a 1 up to a 3. Functionally, you don't really need to worry about what that means, but it means that like through every common you kill, the ones behind it are still going to be hitting for full damage. You can also penetrate through mutations and kill commons behind them with that high of a penetration. So it's a really great card for that penetration. By killing stuff behind your current target, you're saving yourself time and bullets. So it allows you to swing your aim over to the targets that need more of a focus by being functionally just more efficient with your shots. It's a great card. Patient Hunter. So whenever you ADS, depending on how long you ADS, you get up to a 30% damage bonus. And this is huge because you're going to be doing that against big targets. So you're going to be doing it against bosses and those mutations. This is where you need that damage. It's 30% damage. It's multiplicative of all the other damage categories. So massive amounts of bonus here. And it's going to be used when you're going to need that damage. It's against those high health targets. So it's a lovely card. It does exactly what you want. And it's going to really help take down those high health targets quickly. Next, we have Marked for Death. So mutations that you ping are highlighted, and they get bonus damage, 10% damage from all sources. That's huge. That affects yourself and also your team. So it's multiplicative with yourself, multiplicative with each of your team's damage. So it also has this effect where it's useful in highlighting the priority targets that you want dealt with. I don't know if you ever played a tactics game or anything like that, but generally the best strategy is to focus down targets to prevent them from doing anything to you. A dead enemy is an enemy that can do nothing to you. Marking those enemies gets that into the collective conscious here. Your teammates see, oh, there's a baddie there. They're all covered in red. Let me start shooting them as well. Prioritizing those targets, getting them down quickly, helps save the team. It kills stuff quicker. It's a great overall card, and nobody runs this in Quickplay. This is one of my Quickplay tax cards just because it provides so much value, and nobody runs it in Quickplay. Next, we have Down in Front. So when crouching, you neither take nor deal friendly fire damage with the rider of plus 10 health. 10 health, I'm not going to complain about, but it's that crouching that's really massive. With this, you're running in a disorganized team, and you frankly don't really know where people are going to be. There's some like real crackheads out there in Quickplay. So by just being able to crouch and not take damage, that's huge. Now we have Amped Up. Great card, gives you 20 health every time there is a horde. Chip damage is often what goes and kills a run. So by healing up every time there's a horde, and it's quite frequent here in Quickplay, it just gives you more and more healing. So overall, great card. And nobody ever runs this in Quickplay. So it's just another one of those Quickplay tax cards. Beautiful for it. Brings in a lot of value. Finishing us off, number 15 is Needs of the Many. For a small amount of 10% health, you're getting 4 extra lives spread across everybody in the team. Massive amounts right there. Gives yourself a life, gives everybody else a life. You can't trust quick players. You can't trust them at all. They build wild. So, like, many of them just don't have lives. Many of them, they bring in 1 life for themselves or 2 lives for themselves. And so, by having Needs of the Many, you're going and giving everybody a life. And that's huge, because it's also giving you a life. Nobody runs Needs of the Many in quick play. I don't know why. It just brings in so much value. Nobody runs it, and you're really going to be saving the team a lot by having this card. So it's a great and essential quick play tax card.